Today I'm going to be method feeder fishing and pole fishing on the canal. I thought I'd give the method feeder another try on the canal because I kind of want to see what comes from it. I've heard stories last weekend of a nice chub coming out from around here. So if I could catch that on the feeder, that would be quite nice. And there's also some nice big bream around here which would be cool to catch. So in a moment I'm going to get the feeder loaded up with some ground bait and a fresh wafter on. Chuck it out there over in the reeds and see what I can pull out with it. Last time I tried the canal with a wafter, I caught a gudgeon on it, so hopefully there's none of them today. Ground bait's now loaded in there with the wafter on top of it, so going to give this a quick toss over there in the reeds, I think, and leave it there for a few minutes. I say about half an hour. Now that that's out, I'm going to get the pole set up. Now I've bought the pole because it's just standing on the canal. It's probably one of the easiest ways to fish on the canal, pole is. But I've just bought it to keep me entertained whilst I'm waiting for the big fish on the feeder. Now there's barges coming up and down this canal left, right and centre. So I might end up having to bring in the method feeder really quick whilst they come past, and then I'll get it back out straight away. But meanwhile I've just got the pole rigged up, so I'll pop a maggot on that and get that out. Try and catch some little tiddler fish on this. Here we go then, pole is now out. Hopefully that'll get us a few quick bites whilst we wait for the big uns. And I've got about 3 or 4 hours down the canal today, so if I ain't catching here, I can always move to a different spot. But honestly, I've been here about 20 minutes now, and usually I would have whipped up about 5 gudgeon by now. But the spot isn't even performing well for the gudgeon, so I doubt it will perform well for the bigger fish. Or in general today, the canal might not be performing very well. But what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to haul the gear up and move down about 3 or 4 stretches. Now, I've never even fished this location. I'd never pole fished it, but nothing. But I was on a walk up there the other day, and I saw some like big massive ripples on the top of the water. It looked like it could have been a carp. So seeing as I've got my method feeder with me, I thought, why not go up there and try and catch a canal carp? So let's get up there and give it a shot. So I made my trek onwards to the new stretch. On the way I was looking out for fish, but the only fish I saw was this oddly large dead roach. That is a big dead roach. Yeah, anyway I walked past the marina and nothing was there either. But before I knew it, I was already at the new stretch. I've just had about a 15-minute walk down to the stretch where I am now. And if you can see over there, right, there's a rock, and in between the rock, that's where I saw the big ripples and what looked to be a carp. So I'm going to get pitched up here for the next couple of hours and see if I can catch this thing, or just catch anything in general. So here we are then, I've got the feeder here and I've got these wafters, the red ones, but I've also got these yellow ones as well. But I think I'm going to start out with the red ones, and if I'm not catching on them within about an hour or so, I'll change them to the yellow ones, sorry. And there we have it, it's now loaded with ground bait and the red wafter is on. There's a barge on its way down just there, so I'm going to wait for that to disappear out my way, and then I'll make my first cast out. Boat's now gone past, it went past pretty slowly in fairness, so I don't think it would have scared any fish away. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let a little bit more slack than that out actually, and get an underarm cast out over the other side of the canal where I've seen the carp. So here goes nothing. Boom. Now we've just got to wait for that rod to start tugging away and flying into the water, and then I'll have a little carp on maybe. Meanwhile, I'm just going to set the pole back up again. Here we are then, I've rigged that up, chucked a few maggots out to bait the spot up, and now we wait for the bites on the hook. I'm having a bit of a take on the pole, and yes, I've got a gudgeon on. Here we are then, first fish of the day, a little tiny gudgeon. Honestly, I did not think I was going to catch a gudgeon today because I've never fished this place before, but here we go then, lovely little gudgeon I've caught. He's only small, he's very small actually, but it's a catch and I've not blanked. This little guy's just a build up to the big fish I'm going to catch, I reckon. So let's pop him back in the water. Hopefully we'll get a few more of them. Little boat's on its way down, and I'm not trying to lose my method feeder, so I'm going to reel this thing in real quick. Probably put some fresh bait on and get it back out. He's just passed and he's made a bit of a disturbance in the water, but oh well. It's bound to happen at some point, ain't it? But we'll get this thing back over there now. I have just seen some more ripples come up as well, which is amazing. Yeah, a few pretty big ripples have just come around over by the bush there. It was a big plop and there was just like a load of big ripples coming off of it, which very well could be a carp. You know when a carp comes to the surface and it flaps his tail or something and he makes like a big pattern on top of the water? It looked like that. It could be a chub even, but whatever it is, I want to catch it. I've just seen a humongous heron come out of that bush there. Massive he was, and so that's a good sign that there might be some fish around. But hopefully the heron hasn't just took all of the fish from here and left me with none to catch. The line on this has just pulled a little bit. It had a slight little tug and then it went back. Could mean there's something down there messing with my bait. Just as I'm getting some play on the line as well, boat comes down. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same boat that came down earlier. Why? Well, let's get this in. Not that I want to. I'm unwillingly bringing this in now. But yeah, I'll get it back out there in a moment. What I might try and do this time is like cast it a little bit further, because I'm not sure if the ripples where I saw, they weren't really there. There was more towards the other side of the bush, which I wasn't casted towards. I'm sure if the carp saw the wafter, they'd go for it, but plot that out there right now. That's exactly what I was talking about. Time's ticking fast down here. Earlier on I was down at the peg down there on the bench for about an hour. And then I've been up here for 2 hours now, and I only caught a little gudgeon. But that's still good. That is a good catch. It's a good catch in my eyes anyway. So yeah, I've got about half an hour to an hour left before I've got to start trotting home. Let's hope this carp will get caught on the feeder, or anything will get caught on the feeder. I'm not bothered what gets caught on it. I just want to catch something on it. Come on then, it's been a fair amount of time since I've caught something on this pole, and that explains why there's no maggot on it. So I'll pop a maggot back on, chuck a few back out into the water here, and try and catch another gudgeon. Maybe a perch, maybe a roach or a rudd, or whatever little fish will bite it. Maggot's back on the hook on the pole. Let's dip it back in, just about there. Tell you what though, this canal carp is some serious waiting game. It's a worse waiting game than it is a pond fishing. Usually at a pond I could sit for about 2 or 3 hours maybe and catch one. Here I've been 2 hours and not caught one. But that makes sense, I've been here 2 hours. But I doubt I'll even catch one today. I don't think them sentences what just came out of my mouth made any sense. Oh well. Float's drifted all the way down there. I don't know if a gudgeon was playing with it or not, but I'll pop it, dip it back in there now. I've just full on witnessed a fish jump over my line on there. It were only a small perch or something like that. But that's a good sign there's little fish around here. Right, this barge is heading down now, and it's probably going to hit me in about a minute, but that's going to disturb the swim massively. So I think I'm just going to bring the rods in now and head home, because I've only got 10 minutes left anyway. Here we are then, final little bring in. A strike, something feels like it's on, something feels heavy. Oh no, it's a leaf what's on the end of it, but get this in. Nah, nothing is on. Bought this in, I'll just pack this thing away now, and I'll leave the pole out for about 2 or 3 minutes whilst I'm packing my gear away. I believe all the boats that have come down today have just scared all the fish off, because yeah, there is still a maggot on it, like I thought. So it ain't my fault I'm not catching, it's the fish, they're just gone. That's all my gear away now. Sadly, I had no carp and nothing out of here today. Well, I had that one gudgeon, nothing major though. I reckon if I come down here in the summer time, or when it's hot, I'll end up getting one then. In fairness to me, today's not the brightest of days. It was hammering it down all morning till about 10 AM. So that may very well have scared off whatever fish are here, like down to the bottom of the canal. It's also murked the water up a lot, which isn't a bad thing. It encourages the fish to come out of anything. So hopefully next time I bring the method feeder down the canal, I'll end up getting something. But I reckon if I come for carp on the canal again, I'll probably bring like a hair rig, put some boilies on it, some corn, some spam, I don't know, whatever things like, I'll pop on it. That's about all I've got for you guys today though. I hope you enjoyed the watch. If you enjoyed, please like the video down below. Once you've liked the video, subscribe to my channel whilst you're down there. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss another one of our videos. But yeah, that's about all from me today, so peace for now, see you in the next one.